Welcome back, Sisters on the Couch, Peace FM 90.1. Myself, Lauren, in the hot seat through till 4. It's now 10 to 3. Back-to-back music there. I hope you enjoyed that section. Loads of music to play. Massive shout to those on the text. Big shout to 121 who says, good afternoon, Lady OC, have you locked on here? Southwest London, the original Silver, sending festive greetings to Full Radio and Manchester families. Massive shout out to you, the original Silver. Glad to hear you're locked in. Sisters on the Couch right here at Peace FM, and all the way down there in Southwest London. Hope you're having a wonderful time. What's it like down there? Is it cold? Is it icy? It is up here today, but I tell you what, if you're in that sunshine, it's still warm. That sunshine's still melting away that ice. So big shout to you. Also, 731, who's singing, please? Name of the record. Well, I went through so many there. Let me just backtrack a little bit. The last rhythm you were listening to there, big rhythm, that one. Thank you, rhythm. Now, I just want to see, have I got a caller on the line?
Yes.
You're with me, caller. Who's with me right now?
It's Gav Pauze.
Greetings, Gav. How are you?
Greetings. I'm really good, thank you. And it's an honour to phone in today. I've been listening to your show and I'm really feeling your vibes, loving the show.
Excellent. So, have you enjoyed the music so far?
Yeah. John 9 is a regular feature in my radio show, so, I was like recognising the voices. I was like, I ain't got this rhythm.
Yes. Oh, you haven't got it, and he's a regular feature.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, dear. I'm going to have to send that to you, Gav.
Brilliant, thank you.
Wow, Jan 9, a regular feature, so that gives a little bit of a clue as to who you are. Those people out there who don't know who you are, live on the line now, we have Gav Pauze calling directly from...
I'm in London.
You're in London. Oh, just like our texter there, fantastic. Is it cold down there, Gav?
It looks like the frost is gone, but we've had frost all morning. It's really cold. I've just been hibernating in the studio. Yes,
that's a good plan as far as I can see. And those people out there who don't know what you do, Gav, give us a little bit of an insight into who you are and what you do.
Well, for the past 6 years, I've been creating the Unique Reggae Mix Show, which is an online radio show that's broadcast all over the world from my website.
Yes.
And it's just basically playing positive, uplifting reggae music.
Wow. So, have you always been in the music, Gav? Have you been...
Yeah, for about 17 years now. I started off as a jungle club DJ.
Yes.
And then I progressed through... and then in 2004, I had an accident where I fell off a BMX and landed on my head. And
ouch.
That changed my life, totally changed my life.
Was it a serious accident, Gav?
Yeah, it was. I landed on the crown of my head and my neck took all my body weight. Okay.
So was your neck all right? Did you break anything?
I didn't break anything. I was quite lucky on that side of things. I just had... I suffered with a lot of PTSD, basically.
Okay, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
Right, okay. So I suppose that often happens with head injury as well.
Yeah, it happens with any traumatic experience, really. People who go out to war, they get it.
Yes.
People in car accidents, anyone that's been through a traumatic experience can suffer with PTSD.
So what were your, I don't like to use this word, but I'm going to use it anyway. What were your symptoms?
I started off with a lot of anger, and I couldn't really understand what had happened totally. And then I kind of went through a next stage where I was frustrated and confused, and then I think there's about 5 stages of PTSD, which leads to depression in the end.
Yes.
And that's where the reggae music comes into it, because reggae music helped pull me through that depression that I suffered from the accident.
Wow. Reggae music helped to heal you, is what you're saying? Yes,
it did, and it does to this day. If I'm ever feeling like I've got too much on my plate or I've got stress going on, I'll pop on some reggae music, and it makes me... it helps me progress forward, basically.
I hear you, Gav, wholeheartedly. I used to call it vitamin R. Because it does have. I mean, you can be in a place and a place in your mind and maybe in your your external circumstance, whatever it is. But just to hear a real good beat and a real good soulful beat with some conscious lyrics can be enough to elevate you out of that pit.
Yes, totally. And reggae music teaches us, especially the roots and culture. It gives us life lessons. It's inspiring. Anyone that's suffered with or suffering with depression, I would recommend to pop on some positive, uplifting reggae music, because it's surprising what it can do for you.
Give us a little bit of an insight into how it made you feel, Gav, because obviously, I mean, you were, like you said, you were a jungle DJ, a bit of drum and bass and jungle and that kind of thing. Is that what you said?
Yes, yeah. I was. I used to play in Nottingham, where I was born. Also in Scotland. I did a few gigs in London, Leeds, Sheffield. I was travelling all over with the music, with the jungle.
Manchester?
Not yet. I've never actually been to Manchester. That's one place I need to come and visit.
Okay. You've never been... That's shocking that you've travelled the whole of the UK and not been to Manchester. You're missing out, Gav.
It's one of the few places I've not actually been in the UK.
That's disgraceful. You're missing out there. Manchester's a wonderful place, and I'm sure all our listeners can vouch for that. But I'm sure you're aware of that, and you're dying to come up here. You can't wait.
I would love to come up and come and meet you in the flesh. That's something.
That sounds nice, in the flesh. Yeah, I like that. That sounds very intimate. But no, that would be wonderful to get you live on the couch, Gav. That would be really great, because I mean, this is a very interesting story. I mean, obviously you already were listening to some reggae. You must have had it in your radar, in your sphere, for you to then, when you were ill, for you to then be drawn back to the reggae kind of thing.
Yeah, well, what happened is, when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of Buju Banton.
Yes.
And, a lot of people look at me gone out when I say Buju Banton was one of the first influences for me as it comes from the reggae side.
Right.
And that's because with jungle music, Buju Banton and General Levy were the most sampled reggae artists around the mid-90s.
Yes.
So that's where the heavy influence from those artists come from.
Beautiful, and a beautiful sound. Buju Banton, just a different kind of voice.
Yeah, and I could relate to his lyrics as well. A lot of his songs, like It's Not an Easy Road.
Yes.
That's one of my favourites. And Hills and Valleys, that's another one of my favourites of his songs. And, those songs will go down as my all-time great songs that inspired me on the path of what I'm doing now. But when I actually had the head injury, I couldn't walk properly afterwards, and I was kind of resting for about 6 months.
Right.
And actually listened to a reggae artist called Dub Judah.
Right,
He's the guitarist from the Twinkle Brothers.
Right, yes.
And it was his album, Better to Be Good, that I listened to that for about 6 months non-stop, and that's actually what uplifted me and taught me how reggae music can heal.
Wow, what a journey. So it's healed you then, Gav? It's worked for you?
Yes, it does, and it still does to this day. Like I was saying before, if I ever feel like I've got a lot on or I'm struggling, I'll pop on a bit of music, normally listen to my own radio show.
Right, yes.
And it uplifts me that, the music is a journey, and, we can choose to take the lessons that others have learned, teaching us through the music, and we can use those in our own lives.
Yes, most definitely. And I'm quite conscious of time, because I know I have to go to a short advert break in a minute or two, Gav. But I just wanted to ask, because you're obviously, a lot of people, you're talking about reggae as a healing thing, and everybody across the world should be able to agree with that for purely one person, legend, that is Bob Marley. Yeah. Now, everybody everywhere knows of Bob Marley, but some of the lesser commercial, Buju Banton, again, quite a commercial artist. You will find him commercially across quite a lot of places. But in terms of the less well-known artists, there must be loads of them out there writing some real conscious stuff. I traipse through rhythm after rhythm after rhythm every week, trying to find the conscious rhythms to play, because I'm of the same mentality that you are, Gav, and I want to put out those positive, conscious lyrics in the music. I don't think we should be promoting anything less than that. And I do traipse through rhythm after rhythm, but there must be loads of people out there that just aren't really getting into the radar.
Well, I totally agree with you. There is so many. I must get 200-300 songs sent me a week some weeks.
Wow!
It's crazy.
Send them to me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to share some songs with you. I'll send you some through, new rhythms, new songs. There is so many artists that get unheard, basically. Yes. And it's sad that it's in that state, but I do believe that as radio DJs, we can change that. We can get the music out to the people. And one thing I've noticed in the past 2-3 years is the switch of people actually listening to conscious reggae music has actually changed. Now there's a heap of more people listening to conscious music, which is a good sign to me.
Yes, most definitely. I'm with you on that, and I really want to talk some more, Gav. So I'm wondering if you might be able to stay with us till after the advert break.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, stay on the line. Don't go anywhere. I'll be with you in one moment.
Talk soon.
Okay. I have just got to go to take a short break. Keep the text coming in if you've got any questions for Gav. Massive thank you to Gav. I want to keep him with us for just a moment because he touched on the conscious word, and that's where I want to go to right now. But first and foremost, I have to pay the bills. So on the other side of this, as I said, keep the text coming in. 075 99 64 26 26. Any shout outs, comments, feedback, requests, questions, anything at all on the text line. Back on the other side of this.
Nothing but the best. But the best.
Sisters on the couch? What are you doing?
We'll bring it back together.
This is Roy here. Get over here on this chair. something crazy, something different. Thank you.
What's the boom, Mr. Bob, Mr. Boy Gypsy? You listen to Lauren and Sister on the couch. Nah, let go. No, let go. Lauren, me, I tell you, the coach, it fit you so. Whoa, Mr. Lauren, that we have to say. What's your pass, Lauren, on the couch?
Peace FM. Lauren. Sisters on the couch.
Welcome back. Peace FM 90.1, Sisters on the Couch, myself, Lauren, in the hot seat, right through till 4 p.m. It's 7 minutes past 3 right now. Oh, we have got Gav back on the line. Let's bring him back in live. Are you with us, Gav?
Yes, I'm here.
Greetings, thank you. I don't know what happened there. It must have been Dean Fraser cut you off there, wanted to play. Beautiful City Life rhythm in the background. Thanks for staying with us, Gav. Great story that you've got for our listeners. And as I said, if you just caught that text there, 145 says, what the guy is saying is so true. Reggae is a healer. I know it is very true.
Yeah, I think anyone that's took time out to listen to some good, positive, uplifting reggae, I think they'll come to that conclusion themselves,
Yes. It's kind of a journey, isn't it? And it sometimes a lot of people, don't get exposed to it. So I love it here on Peace FM, putting out the conscious reggae. But in terms of when we talk about conscious reggae, I just want to talk a little bit about this, Gav, because I had a conversation with some guys in the studio the other day, and these guys were part of a crew of, I think the name is Koki. Rap artist, currently one of the being put up for award for best newcomer, I think, of some form. But this guy's got a crew of about 20 people with him in the studio at Peace FM. So I was, let me talk to these people. So exciting. Anybody that's got a crew that size has got to be quite interesting.
Yeah.
So I had a conversation with these guys outside, and I was talking about conscious lyrics and conscious reggae and conscious music, and they saw that as goody two shoes kind of music, kind of lyrical content. They were saying they like to do it more real and more raw, and I'm saying, but conscious is what reality is. That is the realist sense. That I don't, it seems like there's a misperception.
Yeah, it does. I've never heard anyone actually use that as a definition for conscious.
Yes.
To me, conscious it's real life. It's what's going on around us.
Yes.
It's what's in our environment. It's what's in our existence.
Yes.
And it's our sensations and feelings that we have, and our actions, the actions that we give to other people and share. I've never heard of anyone say what that rapper said before.
No, a little bit strange. Yeah, conscious. I mean, that's how I personally feel about it. Is it's reality. It's talking about real things, and just promoting some, like you say, positive lyrics, giving you some guidance, and like you say, being with the guidance is the potential for healing, I suppose. Yeah, and
a lot of these artists, they're telling their story of things that they've been through or situations that they've seen other people go through. They're educating us, and that's to me what conscious is. It's a form of education.
Most definitely. And is there any artists in particular that come to mind right now when you're talking about educating? Is there any that spring forth from your mind that our listeners should go and check it out?
Well, there's so many artists that I work with. The ones that come to mind are the ones that have visited the studio, like Mikey General. We had him here last week.
Yes.
Also, some UK artists like Chanter. He's a very good conscious artist based in London. And the list is endless, but like Elijah Prophet, Wildlife.
Yes.
gosh, I want to fit them all in.
You do, don't you?
Give them a shout out, you know what I mean? But it's hard because, you know, like I say, that list, I could spend all afternoon.
There's a wonderful track. I can't remember the name of the rhythm now. I probably got it written down somewhere, but it's Phantom Moja, and Phantom Moja is on the track, and as he's singing, you know, he's bigging up all the different artists, and it's going on and on and on and on until he gets to a point where it says, you know, if I've missed anybody, I'll catch you on the next track.
Yeah, I've got that song. I can't remember what it is either.
Isn't it irritating? Just off the top of my head, can't remember the name of it at all. And I'm scanning through my list to see if I can find it, but it's a massive track, and I will see if I can find the name of that one, because it's a
very good artist, and he's got a very, very unique sound.
Yes, most definitely, Phantom Moja. It is one of those unique sounds that kind of stays with you. You can recognise it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I like with all the reggae artists I deal with. They've all got their own sound. They don't sound like another artist. They sound like themselves, and I think that defines a good reggae artist to me, is, you know, they're coming out with their own sound.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I'm trying to remember the life of me remember the name of that track, but I will find that one.
It'll come to you when you're not thinking about it.
Of course it will. It's something. Anyway, reggae something. But that's. I'll see if I can find the rhythm actually and play that in a little while. But I mean, it's a really interesting journey that you've been through, Gav, and the way that reggae's kind of pulled you through. And like I say, still got the text coming in, backing you there. 787 says, I would say it's the lyrics. And wholeheartedly agree. I mean, beautiful, like in the background here, we've got City Life. It's a beautiful rhythm. Dean Fraser on this rhythm. Beautiful, beautiful rhythm. And you can just kind of vibe to this all day, all night, whatever time, because it's got the sax, it's got the live kind of feel to it. But then when you drop some conscious lyrics on it, it's like the whole package, isn't it?
Yes, and you know, when there's the conscious lyrics playing and I can relate to it, like I get the hairs stand up on my
shivers.
back and all down my arm.
Yeah, shivers. I know that one. And like you say, this gentleman, I said gentleman, I have to assume. That's terrible of me, Lauren. 787, I apologise if you're not a gentleman. But the idea of, I would say it's the lyrics. I mean, that is so important, because if you've got a nice melody, a nice beat, something that you're going to kind of relax to, then you're much more susceptible to absorb, if that makes sense.
I agree with you on that one, yeah.
You much take things in, so it's a great way to put out knowledge. It's a great way to help people to learn. It's a great way to share information through something like conscious reggae. In terms of, you know, that people are more receptive when there's a nice feeling about it. Yeah, no,
totally. And you know what surprises me as well, that it doesn't get the airplay on like commercial radios like it should.
Yes,
you know?
But then here we go, because you've led me quite nicely onto that point, and it's a bit of a controversial topic, but I'm going to go there anyway. In terms of what is played on commercial stations and the music that we hear. I mean, I've been listening to a song, and everybody will know who the song is, but it's about dying young.
Okay.
And the artist, I think it's Kesha, Die Young. But I'm listening to the lyrics and I'm thinking, wow, really? Is that what was... Because that... I mean, if you're not listening properly and it's subconsciously filtering through, that's a strange message. We're going to die young, so I think that's a real strange message. And interesting, very interesting artist, Kesha. But I mean, she's battled through all sorts, so she's got quite a strong character about her. But sometimes I do think some of these lyrics, I mean, artists, they're responsible, aren't they, for what they put out there?
Well, exactly, and this is the thing, is I think sometimes, not all of these artists, but some of these artists don't exactly think about what effect they're going to have on other people that are listening to their music. I think they're thinking more about the money. You know, and that's kind of sad, you know. Okay, we all have to live, we all have to survive, but, you know, I could never push on a bad message or wrong message to some, like, younger or older listeners. You know, I think that's not a good way to go, because at the end of the day I care about what I say and the effect that it has on other people, and it's the same when I'm playing music. I care about what effect that music's going to have on the people listening. Most definitely.
And you know, it's funny because I look at nursery rhymes, and I'm getting into my 30s now, but you know, you'd be looking at nursery rhymes, and I can still remember them word for word, and these have been like pushed into my subconscious. I've got these nursery rhymes, and when you actually listen to the lyrics, you think, gosh, is that what was being taught? Rockabye baby, the cradle will fall, the bough breaks, and down will come baby. I'm thinking, gee, that's a bit...
Ring of Roses.
Yes. I heard something interesting about that one the other day. But it is true, you know, a lot of the time, music, you don't really pay too much attention to what it's saying, but it's going in anyway. That message is going in anyway. It's called subliminal subliminal processing, and you know your brain, your consciousness actually processes all sorts of stuff around you, and holds on to that which is important, but some stuff gets, there, it just stays in there. And like you say, a responsibility from the artist to just kind of put out positive words, not even always positive, as long as it's, like you say, talking about real life or expressing somebody's story, because it's not always positive, but I suppose the nature in which you put it out can be positive. Yeah,
no, I agree with you on that one, and some of these artists need to be a bit more cautious on those messages that they are pushing, because like you're saying, the subliminal messaging thing, people do pick up, and I think sometimes they don't actually realise that they're leading into what those artists are telling them to do.
Yes.
And that's basically what I see it as being.
Yes, most definitely. Gav, it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you, and I really would like to talk to you all day, but I'm rapidly aware we've been on for quite a while, and I do want to tell the listeners out there, I'm going to tell everybody this, because whilst we went through the advert break, Gav chose to stay on the line just to support the station, and I know you probably wouldn't want me telling people that, Gav, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I love what you're doing, and your show's really good. I've been enjoying myself listening to it today, and I think I'm going to tune into Peace FM a bit more from now on,
Yes, I would agree with you right there. Definitely tune in. Thank you very much, Gav. It's been wonderful hearing about your journey, and I can't wait for you to join us in the flesh, like you say, on the couch. That would be really interesting.
We'll have to do that soon. We'll organise that, and we'll sort me coming up to Manchester and coming to meet you and Peace FM. That'll be a highlight for me, because I love travelling, and I love to share the story and the experiences that I've been through, in hope that other people can learn from them.
Most definitely. And that's what we want to hear, and have a proper, real long conversation about your experiences and where you've been, and your journey and so forth. And there's been quite a few texts as well, Gav, people that want to link with yourself. So I'll deal with that off air. But massive shout to those people that have been in contact saying they want to link the live caller from London.
Brilliant. I just want to say a big shout going out to Mark, Lucy, Princess, all the people that support me with what I'm doing over the past 6 years, and also the clothing label that sponsors me called colourheritage.com. And I just want to say thank you for this conversation today. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you very much, Gav. The pleasure is all mine. And hopefully we'll be hearing from you very soon.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks very much, Gav.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wonderful. Gav Pauze there. Check out Pauzeradio online. Check out some of his stuff, doing loads of great stuff. Keep the text coming in, 075 99 64 26 26. Any shout outs, comments, feedback, requests, questions, anything at all, get on the text line. Right now, playing this track going out to my good friends and family over there. Loads of love to Janet and Malachi on this one. This one's going out to you guys. Damian Marley featuring Nas in his own words.